Get it?
All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast.
Man, this is a birdie fest.
It's a Philly show, baby.
Let's go.
All right, welcome in to Swing It and Ding It in 2025. This is Moose along with Mays and Matthews as we're getting ready to kick off another PGA Tour season, live golf season. We can't just say PGA Tour now, right?
Golf season.
And whatever will become of these tours, we still don't know that. We thought we would be coming into this year, maybe having a clue what's going on. If you get a chance, check out on our social medias, great recap of 2024 for us. Some of the great guests, obviously the local guests like, Rusk and Jim Smith and Sean Palmer. And then, some of the big names in golf, whether it was Fax or John Wood or Michael Collins or Kevin Roy. So great time just looking back and seeing some of that stuff. But 2024 was interesting. I mean, it was obviously dominated by Scotty, right? It's the year of Scotty, one of the greatest seasons ever, but also the other stuff that went along with it. Was really wild. Like we mentioned, we still don't know what's going on with Liv and PGA. You had a guy that won two majors that wasn't the player of the year, which is crazy in Xander. And you have, Bryson DeChambeau emerging as the, most likable human being in the game of golf, right? It was an interesting year. What do you guys remember the most about it? Start with you, Danielle.
I mean, like you said, you when you think of, professional golf on the PGA Tour in 2024, you can't not talk about Scotty Scheffler, 9 victories, win at the Masters. I feel like just 2024 belongs to him. Obviously, you mentioned Xander as well, but I think those two kind of sum up the 2024 PGA Tour.
Yeah, a police officer or cooking at a dinner, Harry. That's the only thing that could stop Scotty Scheffler.
That's about it. Yeah, a shard of glass apparently over the holidays got him. But I just keep thinking back to the U.S. Open and just Bryson DeChambeau overtaking the imploding Rory McIlroy at Pinehurst. I thought that was an unbelievable thing to watch. It was just epic. I mean, with me, everything's about Rory McIlroy in one way or shape or form.
You don't say.
But I do have a prediction for Rory McIlroy that I will unveil in this week's show. That is positive. So I will throw that out there.
New year, new Harry. Wow.
Yeah, the U.S. Open with Bryson DeChambeau. Scotty Scheffler getting arrested at Valhalla. I mean, that was one of the most surreal moments in sports. Forget golf. That was just bizarro land. So I mean, it was crazy year.
Crazy.
And I'm looking forward to this season. Rolfing season begins today, and we got primetime golf tonight, folks. 6 p.m. they start on the Golf Channel from Kapalua. So you get 6 to 10 p.m. tonight.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
weird.
Yeah.
Different though. It's not the Tournament of Champions this year, which I kind of I was just expecting that, and I was looking at the field. I'm like, wait a second. And I was like, oh yeah.
60.
It switched up this year.
And we started it. Chris Kirk, who won this event surprisingly last year. And then, there were some, obviously it was top heavy when you're dealing with Scotty, but there were some great stories, some great young players, and obviously some great shots, some great moments. The President's Cup stands out, especially in a year where we have such a huge Ryder Cup coming up. It kind of makes you focus back on that. But
Is it about the golf or the money?
Yeah, I think the European team is going to hammer that home, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a
we got pride in our
cry for them.
country. You guys need to get paid.
I think I'm betting Team Europe, actually.
Wow.
In the Ryder Cup.
Upset City on home soil?
I think it's going to happen. I actually do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
That's a breaking news moment for sure.
Harry says, take it to the bank.
Yep.
I mean, I think about some of the, some of the moments, right? It's funny when you look at the schedule, we'll kind of go through a little bit of the schedule, but by the travelers, right? By the end of May, early June, signature events are wrapped. You have, you go into the Ryder Cup and everything else later in the year, FedEx Cup playoffs and all that. But definitely want to go through the the majors and talk about some of those courses. We have a big event coming to Philly, a signature event, the Truist Championship, to Cricket Club in May, so that's super exciting. But yeah, let's talk about some of these tournament shots that if you see if anybody remembers any of these.
Yeah, you want to start us off, Moose?
Yeah, I mean, well, the one for me is Xander, right? Like, and he had a couple, but the one at Muirfield Village from the bunker, he had the one too in the major too, where the ball was above his feet, where he had that incredible shot. So, because it's funny, like he doesn't give you that much, like he's not a flashy player.
Yeah.
But when he makes some of these shots, you're like, Jesus, he's just so automatic most of the time. So it's cool to see him in a bit of a different situation and going after it. That jumped out at me.
Yeah. What was it? The from the bunker went in, out, and then back in.
Yeah.
That was pretty great. One of the ones that I thought was funny, like one of the craziest shots, Peter Malnati, the Black Desert Championship. He quote said, I mean, that's the stupidest thing. And he goes, nice double. He hit 2 shots OB, and then he holds out from the fairway, and everyone's like, yeah. And he's like, it's for a double. Yeah. So an all-time 6 there.
Well, that's better than an 8.
It's better than an 8, Harry. It's better than an 8.
I remember Adam Schenk hitting his ball into a spectator's cup, their drink, went right into like a cocktail, looked like a vodka cranberry, and with a Titleist Pro V in there.
I love that Harry
unbelievable.
knows what kind of drink it looked like.
Well, that's what it looked like.
Wasn't a transfusion.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was a transfusion.
It is like the interesting shots are always the ones where you get the relief, right? Where, there was a video a couple years back of, Brandon Matthews climbing on top of a, structure to get to a ball. And Danielle was up there with him. So like, those are the ones, like the one at the Valero Texas Open with Spieth, where he hits it into the gutter. You get the relief, and then there's always the controversy, right? Should they have gotten a relief? Where should it be? But those are always, make for some interesting moments, especially on social media.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, Matt Kuchar had that one in Greensboro. Remember where he made people come back the next day?
Oh my God!
Remember
that's
right.
on
the 18th hole, and he got some crazy relief in the.
He didn't finish.
No, he didn't finish.
And everyone's like, how he makes everybody come back the next day.
Yeah, all the security people had to come back for Monday morning, just so he could like hit 2 shots.
Yep. Another one we can't go without mentioning is Ludwig. I think that the shot, I was rewatching it this morning, 181 mile an hour ball speed. But he hits the ball with his driver, and his club head launches, I don't even know, probably further than what I hit my pitching wedge, just zooms off. And even with the head flying off the driver, he still drives the green and sticks it to like 8 feet. I must have watched that shot like 10 times on replay.
I like Ludwig this year. I think he's going to have a big year. Talk about him when we see the line here for the Sentry, but I really do like Ludwig. But let's take a look at some of the events coming up with the majors. You have obviously the Masters, right? Everyone knows when that is in early April. Quail Hollow we get to see here. For the PGA Championship.
For the PGA,
yeah. Starting in May 15th, and then I have a couple stars next to some events, and the U.S. Open at Oakmont on June 12th. Starting is, I cannot wait to see that. Having played there this year and experiencing that place and that course, I am dying to see that.
Yeah, we could probably have a whole episode on just Moose's travels in 2024. Right.
Yeah, I gotta see what I can do for 2025. That's a whole
different podcast, I think.
Yeah.
And then the Open in July at Royal Port Rush. So I mean, just obviously they're incredible events, incredible locations. They always are, but. So those, and then the Truist Championship at Cricket, and then the Ryder Cup at Bethpage. Like those are the ones that are just circled for me to see.
Yeah, Royal Port Rush, a return, and that was where Shane Lowry won his Claret Jug, and that was where I took Rory that week, and his first tee shot, I believe, went out of bounds, and he put up a 7 on the first hole and was never heard from again and missed the cut.
Wow.
Yeah. You think I don't remember this stuff?
He probably was favored going into it.
He was.
Yeah.
But Brandon actually played Royal Port Rush in the Amateur Championship in 2014. Yeah.
Did
he like it? Do you remember what he said?
I remember the shirt he brought me back.
There you go. 98 days till the Masters.
Jeez.
That's 98 it. Days. That's right here.
Yeah.
When you look at the signature events, talked about how they're very most of them are very early, right? AT&T Pebble Beach. Right at the end of January, not a signature event, but obviously the Waste Management Phoenix Open is one of the biggest in the game. You have the Genesis, Arnold Palmer, the Players is kicks off on the 13th of March. RBC, I always love the RBC because they put it right after the Masters and make it a signature event, so like you don't get that huge letdown.
Yeah,
and then Philly Cricket for the Truist kicking off on May 8th, and then Memorial and Travelers rounded off, and then FedEx Cup playoffs August 7th. Those 3 weekends in a row: Memphis, Caves Valley, and then East Lake. For the
a return to Caves Valley, which is where Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Cantlay had that battle.
Yeah,
I just
remember that? I think they went like
making
6 or 7 extra holes, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Truist,
so we'll talk about
on my schedule though. Like I can't wait for the world to really see Philly golf. You know, get a little peek at Philly cricket. We got to figure out a way to get there. Do a couple live shows.
Yeah, we're talking to the tour. We're hoping to do something. That's for sure. Danielle, why don't you start us off with some tea, and then we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, we got so much to talk about, and we haven't done a show in a minute. So I'm just like, okay, what tea is old? What tea is new? I don't even know what's going on. But yeah, let's take a look at. Did you guys see John Daly's New Year's celebration?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he amused fans by sharing a video of him hitting a ball across the street while, of course, smoking a cigarette. So too bad he's not about like 25 years younger, because him and Charlie Hull would be the ideal couple. They would just be like, I don't even know. I'd love to see that. Although Harry might have a problem with that. I think they'd be a good couple.
Oh no, that'd be great. But it wouldn't if you say he was younger. I mean, can you imagine him and Bryson going at it?
Jesus.
Think about that if they were the same age or similar ages. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, that really would be. The execs at the PGA Tour said that they're getting ready for a new era in sports. They just identified that, I'm sure with a little help from Bryson, that content is king and they needed to figure something out. So they unveiled a new 165,000 square foot production facility called PGA Tour Studios, and it's on campus at Ponte Vedra Beach in Florida. So we'll see what kind of content comes out of there. They'll be doing all types of stuff. So excited to see more access to some of these players inside the tour looks, and, maybe from the commission, maybe from players. We'll see what happens.
Well, I saw the drone fly through the facility. I had it up on social media a couple of days ago. It's really cool.
It is cool.
But what I thought would eventually happen, or will eventually happen, is Golf Channel will be no more, and PGA Tour will be doing all their own stuff.
Yeah,
just take over
coming out of there, because the Golf Channel is basically
it's a big investment.
Yeah, it is, but they got tons of money.
Yeah.
And NBC has been trying to bail on the Golf Channel, ever since they took off Morning Drive. They've been slowly sort of siphoning it out of there, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'll disappear altogether.
It's tough too, right? It's like you turn on Golf Channel and you want to see some golf news, you turn it on and it's like, okay, here's like a replay from the Zozo. And
I know. Or Tiger from 19, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that I don't mind as much, but
just a random tournament.
Like I'm like, okay, what is this? Golf writer Steve DiMeglio did lose his battle with cancer. That was in the news as well. So a little bit of tea there. And Harry, you just brought up Tiger and old content from 1999. Tiger Woods turned 47 on Monday, and Justin Ray, one of my favorites that I like to follow on X, he creates a thread every year for Tiger and his birthday. And, who doesn't love Tiger talk? So Brandon and I were kind of going over some of these stats we were talking, and I'm like, all right, we got to talk about some of this on the pod, because
it's funny, right? If you're younger and you're like, man, Scotty Scheffler, what a year he did. And you're like,
and then it's like, Justin Ray goes, hold on a second, let's not forget about this. And he pulls up some of these stats. So I pulled a bunch. I shared them with you guys, so you don't have to hear my voice the entire time. But let's take a little, dive into this. And to celebrate his birthday, not even 40, not even
he's
50,
49.
49.
Yeah, he's 49. He's a year away from possible Champions Tour.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Yeah,
that's right. He's almost 50.
Yeah. So one more year, but do you think he plays on Champions Tour? I think his ego is going to be like, nah,
For some reason, I think he will. Maybe it's because
Really?
I want him to so badly, because that tour needs a shot in the arm like you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
And we thought Phil would have done that full, more full time, but we've all
We
seen
know. Yeah.
where he went. So it would be really cool. I mean, think of the money that they would probably be able to raise as far as sponsorships for that programming,
Oh
which
yeah.
really
Be
basically
silly.
goes unwatched. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody that watches golf would be tuning into that tour,
Oh yeah.
5, 6, even if he only plays 5 or 6 times a year.
Yeah.
They don't
Even
play every
twice a
week
year.
anyway, and they only play 3
3
rounds
day.
outside
Yeah.
of the
No cut.
majors.
Yeah.
It's perfect for him.
It
Daniel,
is. I
the
just
one that jumps out at me, because you talk about Scheffler and how dominant he was, but he had an issue where he was kind of missing shorter putts for a little bit of time, and he said from 2004 to 2006, Tiger had 1,466 putts from 3 feet and in, measured by ShotLink. He missed 3 of them.
Isn't that silly? I'm telling you, I was going through these and I was just like mind blown. Like I was like reading them out loud, like giggling. I'm like, I was like, these are funny. Like they're just so good. But yeah, let's take a look at some of these and go through. In the last 60 years, there are 3 instances of a player winning 5 or more PGA Tour starts in a row, and they belong to Tiger Woods with 7, Tiger Woods with 6, and drum roll,
Tiger Woods
with 5.
Yeah,
Like, are you kidding?
that is incredible.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, the made cuts list. I don't know if you have that on the list, but he made 142 straight cuts. That will never be broken,
Ever.
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 Well, speaking of majors, from the 1999 PGA through the 2001 Masters, Tiger's finishes in the majors were win, 5th, win, 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 win. In that span, he had 5 major wins, and only 4 players finished ahead of him combined. Unbelievable.
Like it's just silly. You're just like, are these even like real stats? You know what I mean? Tiger is the only player since 1950 to win the same PGA Tour event 4 years in a row, and he's done it twice. Bay Hill from 2000 to 2003, and the Buick Invitational from 2005 to 2008.
Incredible.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, he had 5 or 6 different venues that he was just so dominant in, like Firestone in Akron, Ohio. I don't know how many times he won there. You mentioned Bay Hill, and Torrey Pines. There were certain places that he just tore apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have to mention this last one too. The best score to par in majors from 97 to 2009 with a minimum of 70 rounds. Tiger, 134 under or minus 134. Phil, plus 99. Ernie, plus 118.
Wow.
Phil was the only player within 250 strokes of Tiger.
That's incredible. I never heard that one before.
Oh yeah, that one's
Wow.
wild. So if you get a chance, go on X. If you're not already, follow Justin Ray. Take a look at the thread. I mean, he posts incredible stats all the time, but take a look at this thread on Tiger. It's silly.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
the
Great
dominance
stuff.
in the World Golf Championships too.
Oh,
You got
God,
on
yeah.
there. That, I mean, that's what did he win in 17 stroke play events? He won 12 of them. I mean, that's incredible,
And 199 under par in those events, Harry.
unbelievable.
131 shots better than anybody else. Jim
Dominance.
Furyk coming in.
With Nike clubs,
Yeah, right.
where all the new equipment's rolling out. Harry and I were talking about it. It's like, how many times can you use the phrase AI in your
AI,
advertising and marketing right now? It's like every single,
Mhm.
if we hit it five yards farther every year, we should be hitting it 600 yards by now
Right.
with this technology. But yeah, I can't wait to see everything. But I'll buy something. Let's face
Of
it.
course.
Well, let's talk about the year. Let's talk about well, first of all, Harry, you're heading down south. Is that correct? We got some news where you're going to be getting some coverage here.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to the PGA show.
I'll see you
in
there,
Orlando.
man.
I'll see Danielle there. I'm going to be there
I'll be up
at
here. Don't worry
least
about it.
Tuesday and Wednesday, the first 2 days. I'll
Okay.
be doing a lot of video work with Jack Flanagan and Inside Golf. Going around the show. The demo day is Tuesday. They started off with the demo
Orange
day, and that's when
County.
we'll get a look at all the new equipment. Yeah, that's at the Orange County golf course, and then the next day we'll be all inside the Orlando Convention Center, and there's like 1,100. I want to say 1,100 vendors. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
There's a ton. Harry, I
Yeah.
can give you 2 things. You're going to laugh at me, but definitely, bring some extra clothes because the past few years it's been so cold at demo day. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm like freezing. So
Well, I'm going to play golf that week too, so I will bring
yeah,
like
bring
slacks and fleeces and all that kind
no
of stuff.
beanie,
Yeah.
just in case you're
Beanie.
swing it and ding it beanie. I'm
It's
not even
Florida.
okay, Harry, but I'm telling you, in the morning, if we have, if you have a 8 a.m. tea round, tea time, it could be like 55 degrees when you first get here.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Guys.
don't even go
Does
out.
B wear a beanie for his 8 a.m. tea time?
The
Well,
guy's
it's
from
not
Scranton, for
55
crying
here.
out loud.
Not 55 here. No, he's probably in shorts. He's silly.
Yeah.
But I told y'all, I'm a marshmallow. I'm soft. I'm blood thinned. I'll bring
Yeah.
you a beanie just in case, hair.
Okay.
But also let's link up, offline to schedule some things. Maybe there's a couple events at night. There's like a concert. There's a few different things. So come hang with us.
Okay.
and
Sounds
do some
good.
things. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Just
Yeah.
get
Any
out here
other,
for a week.
Any other trips? Any other golf away from home, Harry? 'Cause
Well, I
we
was-
want to talk about Arizona. We got.
Yeah, I was in Arizona for a week. That was outstanding.
Did you get us a new sponsor? I heard Chipsticks might be interested in sponsoring the show.
I gotta give them their due because they refunded half of the trip of what it costs to ship and all the golf clubs. So they cut that in half, and then they paid for both of our rental sets for both days. So I felt like that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
They should have refunded 100%, but
Well,
We'll talk about the golf. What were the
the
highlights?
golf was great. We played 4 days, 4 different spots, and Quintero is a must play if you're ever near Phoenix. Quintero, it's way out it's a 45, 50-minute ride from Scottsdale. Like there's no cell service there. You're like up in the hills.
Cactus.
Yes, cactus.
Cacti.
There's like wild pigs running around. They're called javelinas. They're all over the place. There's donkeys walking around on the golf course. Yeah, the place was
bunch of
insane.
jackasses.
When we played Mirabelle,
Yeah.
which was the same thing, Mirabelle was out
Yeah,
far, and it was there were these wild hogs and all
Yeah.
kinds of wild. Yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, and apparently, like they shoot them from helicopters.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, because they have to thin. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
and they wreck stuff.
And they wreck golf courses.
Yeah.
Like they come out to eat the ryegrass apparently, and
wow.
they can do some real damage to a golf course. Is what I was hearing. So, but
so they're just
Quintero,
picking them off from an airplane?
Oh yeah, with like AKs. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's
And now
crazy.
people are doing it for sport,
And what a challenge.
Well, you remember the old Eagles quarterback Kevin Cobb used to hunt them with a bow knife, with a knife.
Yeah.
See, that's more of that's more of
Yeah.
a challenge.
I mean, I was literally within 15 feet of like a herd of them.
Are they
were-
aggressive to people?
Well, they weren't to us, but I think they can be provoked.
Wow.
And it was weird, man.
You did some hog wrestling back in college, didn't you?
Oh, I did, yes. I did. I pinned a few. Yeah, I did a couple moves back then, but
You did.
not as many now. But the Quintero's a must play, and Weekapa is outstanding.
Yeah,
like
I
if
hear
you ever
that's
get out there
incredible.
again, and plus they have a casino there. You can in a hotel. You can stay right there on property, and there's 2 golf courses. We played one of them. The newest one is a Core Crenshaw that is apparently off the charts. The practice facility, I mean, it's top notch. I was blown away by how great it was. The other one, Lookout Mountain, was one of the most interesting rounds, like interesting layouts I've ever seen. Really cool. I want to play it again. And then the first day we played Dove Valley Ranch. Now the front 9 on that was pretty out in front of you. The back 9 was kind of tricked up, where you didn't even know where to hit the ball. Like I literally got on a couple of tee boxes on the inward 9, and I'm like, where do I hit the ball? So I didn't really like that, the 9 holes at that place, but still in great shape. Can't wait to go back. Love
Now,
Scottsdale.
when you hit any shots that were kind of off the fairway, did you go searching for the ball, or did you say, I'm gonna leave that up there? I don't want to mess around with any wildlife.
Well, there wasn't wildlife outside. There wasn't snakes.
That's
if
what I'm
that's
talking
where you're
about.
going. Yeah. Apparently the snakes are all underground or wherever they go. There was no risk of snakes. Had it been in springtime, summertime, there's no way I'm going in. But I did walk into some areas, to hit my ball.
Oh, so it was a time of year thing for them where they don't.
That's
They don't come
that's
out.
what I was told. Yeah,
Okay.
they're gone for the season.
Okay. And our friends from All Access helped you
Yeah,
set those
they
rounds
set
up?
that whole thing up. Dan Dillon did a tremendous job. And then did you get the app? They get you on the Vamoose app to
Mm-hmm.
keep track of your where you're going and what times your tee times are? We got that all hooked up. It was great. I can't
Yeah.
wait to go on another one.
Check
I'm
out the
going to
link in our
Stream
bio.
Song.
All Access. Plan your trip for this year, next year. Do it through those guys. It'll help you out. There's a special pricing for our listeners, so make sure you check out the link in our Instagram bio for All Access. They'll help you out. Stream Song, Harry.
Yeah, we're going
I
to
haven't been
Stream
yet.
Song
Yeah,
in May.
love that.
You're looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's going to be a lot of gambling on that.
I know I'm going to head back to Casa de Campo this year. I want to have Robert Bertel back on. The part that stinks is Teeth of the Dog will be closed for all 25. They're doing a major renovation to the course. Yeah. However, between Dive 4, the links,
Dive 4, I almost liked better. It was
I'm
beautiful.
It's incredible.
Beautiful.
Really?
There's a private course on property called La Romana, so I might have to see if I know a person or two and get on that. But there's plenty to do for a couple-day trips. That's the only thing I have scheduled. I know there's still talks about Vegas for us for the Masters, but now that people are back to life and reality, we're going to see if that happens.
Okay.
How about Danielle? Will you be traveling at all?
I will be, but real quick, I have to say I played it's so funny. I'm so used to be playing. So I'm always like, yeah, I played in the pro member. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I played in the member guest. I'm not a pro. But I played in the OPOM member guest with my friend Gabby Papali, her mom, Janet, and then Alex Cuddy hosted us over there. So 2 years ago, Alex and I won. Last year, I didn't get the invite back because I was very pregnant. And then this year, we didn't win. We were the featured group. And we disappointed, but we got 4th or 5th.
Okay.
Still good.
It was, I just said to Gabby, I said, before we need to have some swing juice at lunch, because after we both made the turn and grabbed tequila, at least it worked for me. I think she was just had some nerves and whatever, but I started hitting it pretty well. I will tell you on the range though, I was warming up, hit a shot, and the head flew off the hosel of my 7-iron. We almost had a casualty before we even started.
No way.
Oh yeah. So finally, I'm like, okay. I told her, they invited me out to play again, either Apogee or OPOM, and I said, no, hold me accountable. Say I can't play until I go get my clubs fit and get my new set. We all know I've been talking about that for like 12 and a half years. So I actually talked to Neil over at Jupiter Hills. I'm going to get set up and hopefully get some new clubs, because then we went out on Christmas Eve. Teddy was down here. We went with our friend Connor, Brandon, myself, and Teddy. We played Turtle Christmas Eve, got some good golf in, had a blast. But, I was down a club and I was like, let's get this together. Let's, tune it in. So I'm excited for 2025.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
Yeah, play some golf myself. I did see a little flyer in the locker room. It was like women's league, whatever, but it said like, must be a 34 plus handicap. And I'm like, I'm not a 34. I'm better than that. So I was like, okay, is there a better league? But we'll see. I'll try to find a women's league somehow on, over at Turtle, see if we can do that.
Nice.
B returns starting on Corn, but I think I should know this. I think he's starting maybe in like Argentina or something like that. So I think maybe that's not the first flight that I jump on. Plus I have a bachelorette party. So
all right. So 2025, Brandon's making some moves here.
Yeah. So we'll be traveling for
golf.
sure.
Right.
Awesome.
Harry, any personal golf goals for you this year?
Golf goals. Well, yeah. I mean, I finally want to get down inside. I want to get down inside at 12. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. I still have yet to break 80. So that will be the
another
goal.
one. That's
I
another one.
I brought it down a few points this year. I want to try to bring it down a little bit more.
I have a really sweet hat. It says can't break 80.
Most people can't. They keep on telling me that, yet everybody I play with does.
Well, it's so funny. Somebody that on Christmas Eve, after we went back into the clubhouse, somebody said to me, they said, "Can I tell you something your husband said to me?" And I was like, "Sure." And he's like, we played an event here, and I was just getting so angry and this and that. And he goes, "I already knew what he was going to say, because B says it to me all the time."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, he put his arm around me and he goes, "Bud, you're just not that good enough to get mad. He goes, Brandon says to me, like, you don't practice enough to get mad. I think he's just a little more gentle with me. But he said it to this guy, and the guy said that his wife sometimes yells that out the garage to her husband when he's leaving for golf. She goes, remember, you're just not good enough to get mad. And I thought that was pretty funny.
That's funny.
Like Harry said, most of us can't break 80.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
Tremendous. Well, looking forward to a good golf season. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're still debating on our golf outing timing wise. Talking to the club, seeing what they think. I get mixed reviews. It's like when I tell people I'd love to do it in October, everyone's like, "Oh, it'd be awesome," but then they're like, "Yeah, but it's kind of the thing, like when you have it, like So we'll see. We'll see about that. But
I'll make my return this year.
Danielle's got some equipment goals. Harry, we talked about the mini driver. I actually might look into it.
Well, that's going to be the rage here in these next couple of weeks
No
once
doubt.
the equipment all starts to come out. And, every company's going to want to have their 12.5 to 13-degree driver, because we started seeing that appearing on the PGA Tour this past season. It's only been out for a season, right, Danielle and Jeff?
That's
that's
all I remember seeing them.
Yeah. So now that's going to be, all of us mortals will be able to buy one. So I expect one.
Harry, maybe we should go on a hunt looking for them at the PGA show.
At the PGA show, they'll be all over the place.
Yeah.
Titleist has theirs out already, and I'm sure the other companies, will do that too. But I'm sure there's going to be one in Moose's bag by March. I'd say March.
Yeah, I want to let all the technology come out. This way I have full range of options.
Right.
Well, see,
I want to go in blind.
They got in my head at the at Old Palm when we were playing because somebody said, I don't remember if it was Alex or a caddy or whatever, but they were like the percentage of putts made at 25 handicap or below should be using a mallet putter.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I got a Scotty. I just I like the looks of mine. I'm like, I'm not moving my putter, but it got in my head. I'm like, should I sub in a mallet putter? I don't know.
Get one of those make fields. Or
there is a make field down in my garage, but I don't know, Harry.
Speaking of equipment,
I like my Newport.
You switched back?
Yeah,
to Blade.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I just felt
like I had more feel and more, more touch to it.
I feel like the mallet's it's like a spaceship or something. It's just too much for me to look at. I like it more simplified.
There's some strange
more
looking ones.
Yeah. I don't want to look like I have a laptop on a stick.
Well, that's like Brian Harmon.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a frying pan on the end of a fishing pole. But speaking of equipment change, did you see what Max Homa did?
Lulu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lulu for apparel.
Well, Lulu's is apparel. No, he's
Cobra.
with Cobra and Puma shoes. But he hasn't changed his ball that
he's
I know.
He's the new Lexi Thompson?
He's still playing the Titleist ball, and he's still using the Scotty Cameron putter, I believe. Danielle. So
that was all over the place.
Well, you talk about Lexi Thompson retiring, so she's sort of moving out with Puma, and they know that Fowler is washed. They know it. Mm-hmm. So they need somebody else. They need to inject some life.
You're not buying orange shirts this year, Harry?
No, I don't think so. I think there'll be a lot of discount rack orange shirts.
Yeah.
Interesting move.
But and then Lululemon too is what are they doing?
I thought they only made women's stuff. So,
no,
it's already a good investment. It's already a good investment. Yeah,
they've made men's stuff forever, but I think Alo has been a big competitor of theirs, at least in the women's space for athleisure wear. But I haven't seen them really break into the golf space yet. So interested to see what this looks like, and also to see if it's more of a casual style, if you will. We've seen the Malbon wild stuff that Day wears and stuff, but I want to see
Lulu's very plain. Everything's very plain.
So. Really tiny little subtle sleek logos, but I want to see if it's more like the hoodies and just basic stuff, or if they're going to actually come out with and they're big on the joggers and stuff like that. But
I'm interested to see on the Reebok stuff with Bryson.
That's
Reebok.
Right.
I mean,
when's the last time you heard Reebok?
I know. Yeah. And he was, he had it all over for the match, and curious to see where that goes.
You guys watched the match?
I watched a little bit of it. As much as I really want to watch it, those things they're just hard to watch.
They are.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch 1 second of it.
Well, and plus Bryson and Brooks played like complete ass. I mean, so it wasn't really fun. It was
and I think they expect all this trash talking, but
no,
that's
not
none
Scotty's
of
game. That's not Scotty's game at all.
Or Rory, really.
Yeah.
I did watch some of the shot by shot. There was obviously coverage online. I watched it. They were trying to compare put Rory on a pedestal versus Bryson with the, how more accurate he is and everything else. So I saw a little bit of that, but live, I didn't watch any of it. I think it was just poor timing too. You have holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
People are with family and visiting and celebrating. It's like, we don't want to, as great of a card as it was, I don't know. It didn't.
How's the buzz with the TGL down there, Danielle? I mean,
yeah, it's actually funny because we were at a New Year's party and people were like talking about it, so, when you get to a get together, people are kind of subtly talking about it. Actually, PopStroke just opened too. We had one in Port St. Lucie, and now there's one right next to the airport near PBI. So there's actually, oh shit, that's tonight. It's the second. There's a VIP party tonight we got invited to. I don't know if I'm going to make it out or not for that, but those PopStrokes supposedly are pretty fun. I don't know if
they look cool.
Been to one yet, but Tyre's one of the investors in it, and it's like a.
Now is that all putting?
It's a mini golf course on steroids, yeah.
But it's mostly putting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mini golf. But it's supposedly cool. So, but I think this one has might have some sims or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. So that's some people are excited for that because it's right next to a was it like a line drive or whatever, like the. It's not Top Golf. Ours is a different version, but now they're right there next to the airport. So there's talks of that right now, as well as the TGL. So it's not like people are overly excited, but there's definitely some buzz.
Well, the TGL starts next week,
right?
The 7th, I
7th?
believe. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that went quick. The place is sweet, though. I think we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I went over there, and the fact that they had they're growing grass outside of the dome and everything else, that was awesome. They put new grass down, you're hitting off of turf, wherever you hit.
So it's real grass?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not a mat.
Inside, once you...
When you're hitting your tee shots and your iron stuff, that's off of grass. But then what it does is you hit the shot and it's up on the screen, and then wherever your ball lands on the putting green, a light comes down on the putting
changes.
Green. The undulation of it, they rotate it and do whatever for each green.
That's wild.
But the light will shine down where your ball landed, and then you walk up, you place your ball down on that spot on the mark, and then you putt from there. And then they have the green side bunkers there, but like Moose was saying, it rotates around according to which hole you're playing. So it's pretty cool. And
I think they said they have sand from Augusta, the same sand as Augusta.
That comes from the state of North Carolina, Western North Carolina. They get that stuff.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm interested to see it.
Yeah. They have suites there too.
Right.
It's almost like a hockey arena or basketball arena, if you will. And they have you can go around the outside and, probably buy a $16 beer if you want, or a $12 pretzel, Yeah. Yeah. So
much like the match, will we be watching week 3? Because if these guys don't show any kind of personality and it's just hitting balls into a screen, I'm out.
Well, they're all mic'd up. They're all mic'd up, and there's I can't remember the name of it's not like play commentary, but essentially it's one personality, and he'll talk to him. So he'll be like, Harry, what do you think Moose is going to hit here? What do you think he's going to do? So they're going to try to pull out the banter or trash talk in that aspect. I guess.
Do we know who that is?
I'm drawing
it's
a blank.
Airing on ESPN. I don't wonder if is it Scott Van Pelt?
No, it's not Van Pelt.
He knows golf.
No, it's for me. It was a forgetable name.
Don't say it's Greeny, please.
No, it's not Greenberg.
Oh God,
no. I'd have to look it up again and see. But I think the ticket prices are actually kind of high. I think
really?
I think it was like $150, $200 a ticket, and I'm like, wow. To sit and watch virtual golf.
Wow.
I know we're in Palm Beach, but I was like, I don't know if we're selling out tickets, and then I don't know how much a suite would be. But I think just with the investors and the people involved in it, I think we're going to see some success no matter what. But
but these guys got to have some fun. They can't act like they're at the Masters. They have to.
It can't be a repeat of the match, like you said. Yeah.
No, they have to show some personality, but I don't think it's in a lot of them, right? So
no.
We'll see. We'll see where.
Well, and I think there's teams of 4 or 5, and only 2 play
or
and
something.
1 alternate or something. So, but you got to think these guys are flying in to play 2-3 hours of golf.
Yeah.
And so, is that a benefit or is that just a pain in the butt?
Yeah.
Well, they're all going to be flying private anyway.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah.
flying commercial to come
I
in
don't
and play
feel
for 2 hours.
sorry for them one iota.
I'm
No.
not saying I feel sorry for them,
No,
but I'm
I'm
just
just
saying,
saying.
like, their interest in it. Like, okay, I had to
Right.
fly
Oh,
here
yeah.
to play 2
Yeah.
hours of golf, and then, like, am I going to be like, hey, like trash talking it? You know,
Right.
it's just it's interesting to see how it'll play out. I didn't realize it was starting the 7th though. That's
Yeah,
why
the
Yeah.
seventh.
Yeah.
they've been doing such heavy testing around here though. Like I think B probably played like at minimum like 10 test rounds. Like
Really?
He played with Rory the other day. Yeah, and he had them like mic'd up and everything else, and they went through it and were asking them questions and
Is
yeah,
it like an earbud thing, like they do with the?
yeah, everybody has an
Yeah.
earpiece in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of flying in to play golf, we got some real golf going on.
Yeah.
Sentry, 60 players. It was 64. I think it rounded out to 60. The winners from 2024, and as we talked about, the top 50 in FedEx at Kapalua. Harry, let's talk about the course. Of course, sponsored by the Penn Club on Second.
Yeah, and
What a place.
they have Kapalua on the TrackMan over there. I verified
Wow.
it. This was an old pineapple plantation. It's called the Plantation Course right there in Maui. Core and Crenshaw designed this back in 1991, and then they came back just a few years ago, 2019, to renovate it. Par 73. You don't really see a lot of par 73s, especially on tour. 7,596 yards. It measures out to be the third longest golf course they play on tour, behind Torrey Pines South and Punta Cana. And the greens are going to be stimping at about 11 plus. Average green size, giant greens, 8,722 square feet per green.
Wow.
It's a 500-acre property. I mean, this place is just massive. And 93 sand bunkers, 0 water hazards. The only water you see is the Pacific Ocean, and you see it in basically everywhere you look. Bermuda grass all over the place, Tiff Eagle on the greens. And they have the largest greens on tour that they'll see all season. Okay, the smallest greens that they see on tour is at Pebble Beach in a couple of weeks, but these are the biggest they'll ever see. There's only 3 par 3s, which is kind of strange. The 2nd, the 8th, and the 11th, and there's 4 par 5s, 5, 9, 15, and 18. There was some great risk-reward par 4s on the inward 9, too. You remember Dustin Johnson a few years ago, 2018, teed off on 12, par 4, and almost holed out. Came within a foot of what would have been a double eagle. What would that have been? A hole out on a par 4. I mean, that's a double
DJ's
eagle.
been so quiet, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Right? Like, think about like from when he won the Masters until now. Like, you
Yeah.
still see Bryson. Obviously, Brooks was in the Ryder Cup. Like, DJ is just MIA.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he does. I don't think he
He's
cares.
just chilling. Yeah, he's like, I got money in the bank.
Yeah,
And
he's
that-
got his
that
I'm
Masters-
hanging out. Like
That Masters was in 2020. That was the year they played it in the fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4+ years. And you're right.
yeah.
He's virtually non-existent. And then they have the uphill 14th hole, which is 301 yards. Guys will try to drive that, but there's a lot of trouble, to the right and to the left. You can really get in some really high grass if you miss it to the right. But there's tons of elevation change and vast beauty all around. It's a really, while we're freezing our rear ends off this weekend, it'll be nice to watch beautiful scenery in Hawaii and some
Love
of the best
watching it.
players playing.
Love watching.
And it's nighttime golf for us, 6 to 10. It's on.
Yeah.
And the golf
That's right.
channel. So
Chris Kirk won it at 125-1 as we kind of move into seeing the line. But how about last year? Most bet golfer of the year.
yeah.
No shock here. Scotty Scheffler, $166 million were wagered on him.
wow.
Rory, $74 million. Xander, $63 million. So you got some value in Xander, and you
Yeah.
lost some value with the next guy, Harry.
Oh my, Max Homa. Yeah,
Yep.
people lost a lot of shekels on Max Homa last.
Uh-huh.
Outside of his 3rd place finish, if you had him in a top 5 at the Masters, you cashed.
Yep.
But other than that, he was really a no-show.
You guys see he has Michael Greller on the bag this week?
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
Temporary. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but Jordan's like, hey, borrow my caddy for the week. Like
All right.
And then Ludwig rounds out the top 5 at 58.2 million. But this one's interesting, right? Because you have JT, who did you see his quote? How he feels like he could have a Scotty Scheffler type year. He
Yeah.
has one in him. I think
I
think he
wouldn't
does.
doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm not
one
doubting
thing
him.
I like about JT is he has just the notes app, and he always
Posts
writes down,
yeah.
he writes down his goals for the year, and then he checks them off, and he posts it every year whether he achieved that goal or not or came close, and he's raw and open with it. I just think it's cool to see that.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I brought it up to my sales team here.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully Powers is listening. He's going to try to
Yeah,
check
get it
some
together,
boxes
Mike.
this year. Yeah. So you have,
Yeah.
but JT, he was playing good golf too. The Zozo, the
Mhm.
hero. You have Xander, who won it in 2019, who obviously is, the favorite here at 550. And then we have Oberg coming off the knee surgery, but he's got a T20, T17 at the RSM, a 6 at the hero. So very curious to see how he does. We talked about Xander 550, JT's at 900, then Morikawa, Cantlay, Oberg, Sunjay, Hovland at 2,800. He has a broken toe, right? Is that what he was dealing with?
Yeah, he's got a broken pinky toe, I think, on his right foot, and he also zipped his coach again.
Oh,
He fired Joe Mayo for a second time.
Sheesh.
I'm telling you though, broken toe is no joke.
No, I'm
I
serious.
hit
You're
my
right.
toe barefoot on a 10-pound weight. That thing, it was so uncomfortable. And then just wearing, sneakers even at the gym hurt. I can't imagine like playing golf on a broken toe.
Got to get a pair of squares. That's what you got to do.
Bounces right off.
Exactly.
I actually like our guy Akshay Bhatia at 3,000.
I love him.
He likes the palm trees.
Plus 3,000 and plus 210 in a top 10, Moose.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
And then Eric Cole in a top 5 at 900.
Oh,
And how about Tom Hoagie in a top 10? You can get him at 600 for a top 10. It's a pretty good number for a guy like
$600
him. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What are you liking, Harry?
Well, I like your Akshay. I had that
Yeah.
written down at plus 3,000, plus 210 in a top 10. And Sam Burns is pretty high up the board. I find that kind of interesting. So I'm thinking somebody knows something.
he's always
He's at plus
sneaky.
2,300 to win it. Actually, it just went down to 2,200. I'm looking at it live. And he's plus, what is he in the top 10? Plus 175 for a top 10 for Sam Burns. But I expect a big week out of JT too. I know there's really no value there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Harry, what do you think about Bernhard Langer?
Oh, he's amazing.
Do you think he should be teeing off from the tees he's playing? Do you
he
think he's
shouldn't be-
anchoring his putter? Let's talk. What's going on?
I don't
out there?
think he's anchoring the putter, but he shouldn't be playing in a tournament from 6,000 yards. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, Charlie
Like
shouldn't be teeing off before you.
No, exactly. And what they got to do, they have to either put more tee boxes in that golf course or find a different golf course to play this event. The event's great.
Yeah, it is. That was so much fun to watch. But when it came down, I mean, obviously, I'm sure the rest of the world like me was rooting for, Tiger and Charlie. I was like, come on. And I was like, all right, Charlie's giving Tiger the line. Like, this is going to be so good. And then when it came down to Bernhard having to make the putt, I'm like, it's over. He's not going to miss this.
He's
Like,
not missing.
yeah, that was,
But it was fun. It was good to watch.
it was fun.
It was.
See, I
it was
watched
good.
that over the match.
My wife loves that event. She watched, I think, every second that it was on TV.
It's entertaining, and it humanizes it a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, like father and son, and just
Yeah,
feel
Nelly out
good
there,
near the
Danielle.
holidays. Yeah,
Yeah, Nelly and her dad, who's apparently a total wacko about it. Like, he's like super competitive. She has to calm him down. And like, they kept on mentioning, like, Dad, we're trying to have fun. Like, this is supposed to be fun. He gets so intense.
Well, I said, man, if we were playing a drinking game and they mentioned Langer's son being in finance one more time,
Oh,
I'd
I
be
know.
hammered.
I
I'm
know.
like, take a shot for every time he says finance. I'm like, I'm blacked out.
Yeah,
Like,
and he went to
my
Penn.
God.
He
Yeah.
played at Penn. Yeah.
and he's in finance
Exactly what he looks like.
in New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly what he looks like.
I'm sure that was a tough hookup for old Bernhard to get his son hooked up with a Wall Street firm.
Yeah.
These guys play golf with CEOs on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All the pro-ams and everything.
Yeah.
Helped him gain some more business, I'm sure.
Yeah. But listen, it was a great 2024. Looking forward to 2025. Looking forward to talking about the game, getting out there more with you guys. Looking forward to all the things that we do. Around to the NEPA, our golf outing, some more stuff. We're working on working on an event at the Penn Club coming up in later this winter. So a lot of good stuff going on. We appreciate you guys listening, watching, hanging out with us, and we'll do our best to keep Philly golf going strong.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm going to try my best to not wish away the next 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I want to get something out of it. I don't
Well,
want
you
to just
got- yeah.
wish it away.
At least you're going down.
Go play Kapalua over at the Penn Club.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
there
go.
we go.
Wear
All right.
Hawaiian shirt. We'll
I'll
put it up
put
on the gram.
sunscreen on just to
There you
feel
go.
like
A
I'm
little stripe
outside.
on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I look like Webb Simpson
There you go.
with my sunscreen all over my face.
Beautiful.
Oh man.
All right, we'll be back next week in between rounds of golf in Hawaii, and we'll see who. If it's going to be a long shot. I don't think it's going to be a long shot. I think it's going to be a short money this week.
Oh, yes. And the one and done pool
Yes.
is up and running, and it starts next week at the Sony. I'm starting it earlier than we normally do. Sentry will be the only event that's not in it. So people are
Okay.
I sent the emails out. It's.
I would suggest a resend now that people are back into
Yeah, I
the
will.
routine after the holidays.
I don't know if I got that email here. I don't think I can play though because I'm in Florida. I think there's restrictions.
Well,
No,
no,
you should be able
it's
to.
no, it's
not. It's
it's not
book.
restricted.
Yeah.
Oh, send me
Yeah.
the email.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll put you on the mailing list.
Help
All
me
right.
with the money.
Okay.
Good stuff. We'll be back next week.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right,